There's a new Idubbbz video.
1 hour later.
Oh my god. Finally, a new content cop video. They finally did it. Okay, let's see what the king of empathy is finally up to, boys and girls. There you go. Immediately. I can already sense the intro. It's gonna be great. Look at this so far. It's already looking fantastic. Putting everything on. Look at him go. Look at him go. God. What is Hassan doing in this video? No. No. What the Are you kidding me? What the are you? What the Are you with me? Are you with me right now? What the am I watching? What is he doing? He has one job. So, ladies and gentlemen, the king of empathy, also the king of cucks, and the low-level acolyte into politics has finally returned back to YouTube and made another content cop, and also known as Anissa Jomha's husband, which is, you know, a very amazing thing to hear. Let's be honest, it was absolutely terrible. I'm getting that out of my fucking system now before I have a fucking aneurysm later on. This was absolutely terrible. One of the worst content cops I've ever seen in my life. One of the worst videos, actually, I've seen in a while. One of the worst hit pieces. I'd have to say H3's content nuke at Hassan Piker was better than whatever the fuck Ian Idubbbz here did. And it was absolutely just terrible. Terrible from start to finish. And I wanted to review everything from the content deputy and the content cop. That all went on H3, and I just wanted to go start from top to finish, and start to finish talking about this whole entire thing and exactly what the fuck happened here. I'm gonna be talking about things like the, you know, how Ian Idubbbz kind of backstabbed H3. Of course, Ian Idubbbz's new friends.
So, you said America deserved 9/11. Did you mean that?
Yeah.
Create any bad memory for them. You're not forming memories at 3 years old, and it's very rare that you're forming memories at 5 years old. There's a wide variation across across methods, cohorts. The average age of adults' earliest memories is 3.5 years old. You're not really forming memories at 3.
Oh shit, here we go again.
I have no pity at all for any fucking soldiers. I will never have any fucking pity for any fucking soldiers. U.S. military? Boo fucking who? I hope you get PTSD.
Game and Destiny.
Like, it would just be so easy to just, it would solve all of our problems. Like, we would have socialism now at this point, right? We would have socialism at this point if someone just went out of their way and
Game and Destiny.
This is what happens when you don't kill every single slave owner after slavery. They have children, and their children have children, and their children have children, and then their children have accidents that should have ended up on a sock, and it becomes destiny.
Amazing friends that everyone has to enjoy. Of course, lack of empathy and also lack of context and lack of all the other shit that's going to be happening here in a second. And of course, you know, the reason the video was so late is I wanted to build up a little bit of content. I wanted to build up and see exactly where everything led to so I can kind of connect a couple of things here by the end of the video. And of course, I think that's just the best way to go and talk about this. So of course, if you guys like this video, do me a favor, like and subscribe, and let's just fucking get into it. Let's just discuss exactly what was so fucking bad about this content cop. There you fucking go, boys and girls. That's better. Now, the very first thing about this whole entire fucking video that was just terrible, that I really hated, that everyone really hated, was it was fucking boring. Jesus fucking Christ. Look, if I wanted front row seats to a therapy session, I would go to anybody else's. I want to see Jack Black's therapy session. I want to see Jim Carrey's therapy session. I don't want to see Idubbbz and H3 in a therapy session. It was absolutely terrible. It was all, you know, I have a weird feeling about this, guys. Oh, my feelings.
I feel very insulted, and I feel defensive, and I feel like that, just based on my own feelings, was very empathetic, and I essentially empathize with that. And then maybe we can find a moment in time, I don't know how long it'll be, but a moment in time in the future where things are a little bit easier to broach. If you maybe accepted the phone call and we talked about it, you could have asked me, hey, what are your principles?
My feelings about this, my feelings about that. It was fucking boring. It was horrendous. It put me to sleep faster than a Xanax and 5 blunts. There was no fucking way anybody would want to sit through this actively. I had to watch another YouTuber watch it because I can't get through the first 20 minutes without just wanting to fucking fall asleep. It was not good, not entertaining, no funny jokes were fucking mentioned, none of that classic Idubbbz charm. Hell, if he were to go, even if it was a terrible content cop or I didn't agree with the points in the content cop, but hell, it was fucking entertaining, I would have way less criticism about it, but it was fucking boring. It was shit. There was no laughs, there's no gifs, there's no gaffs. There was nothing really that truly stood out to me in this. It was just another boring hour-long video. At very least, when H3 dropped his fucking content nuke, and I want to get this out of the way first, I don't like H3 that much. I always enjoyed him in the past, of course, but nowadays he's also been a shithead, but This shit changed me around. Apparently, it's changed a lot of people around, which we'll talk about a little bit more later. But for now, it was terrible. It was not entertaining in any way, shape, or form. And again, the reason that Content Cop was so popular and so fucking good, that got everybody rock hard, that got everyone rock solid and just beaten schmeat after watching a Content Cop video, is because it was entertaining. And it made the points come across a hell of a lot fucking better. You don't want to watch a fucking video where a guy just talks to himself like a schizophrenic for an hour straight. You want to go and you want to see some laughs. You want to laugh to it, because the second you laugh to it and the second you understand the points of the video, it just draws all that attention to whatever criticism is pointed out in the fucking video. And you don't have that here. It's fucking boring. It's all just, you know, based on feelings. And you can see that because he brought up a therapy session 2 fucking times in this fucking video.
I'm gay. I have crippling depression. I have osteoporosis.
Okay, Idubbbz, I hear you.
Who wants to watch a therapy session? Do you want to watch it from Idubbbz, who's having a fucking midlife crisis at the moment, where he can't even figure out if he has empathy or not?
It sounds really pathetic to say at the age of 32, I've acquired empathy.
Really? You want to get it from this guy. This is the video you want to watch it from. Nobody wanted to watch this. And I honestly have to say, out of all the fucking criticisms I'd have, this is the very first easy layup that he could have made. If he just made it somewhat entertaining, he didn't have to even say edgy jokes. Just a fucking joke. Make me laugh. Make a fucking why did the chicken cross the road joke, and 80% of the fucking audience would probably be like, haha, there you go. There's a little bit of Idubbbz charm. But there was nothing like that. It was just complaining and whining and
oh, my feelings hurt. My feelings are this. Your feelings are that. I don't believe your feelings are warranted.
fuck that shit.
Because I don't give a fuck.
That was never the point. It's not going to engage an audience to hear, oh my god, my feelings. Nobody wants to hear that shit. And it was absolutely just the very first thing, the very first domino, and how just this whole entire Content Cop video kind of fell off. And the same thing happened with the Content Cop BD. It was fucking boring as shit as well. It just continues on. It was just a part 2 to a shit fucking part 1. And it didn't work at all. It's like 2 shitty movies together in one. It was absolutely terrible. And this whole entire boring video was just escalated and just absolutely ruined most of the points that came up. Because who the fuck wants to watch this, right? Who the fuck wants to watch a video like this? Now, of course, the next big thing is, I believe, a backstab. Now, whatever you think about H3H3, whatever you think about Idubbbz, I would have to say they both seem like pretty good friends. As you know, me being a parasocial viewer of everybody and trying to get a hold of what the fuck it is, what is true and what's not.
Because they're having a parasocial weird moment.
But to think that they weren't friends in any way, shape, or form is fucking stupid. And just before this, during this whole entire video, Ian has made it very clear that they were never that good friends and all this kind of shit, which I kind of start to have to disagree with from what we've seen on the internet. Maybe every other time past that, they have never communicated.
And what you're saying to me is that I'm a bad friend and I'm a piece of shit. I'm spineless, I'm cowardly. If you maybe accepted the phone call and we talked about it, you could have asked me, hey, what are your principles?
And you can say that whatever, H3H3 doesn't want to talk to you, but it makes sense, which we'll talk about here in a second. But of course, the very first thing, the biggest part, the biggest component of this whole entire backstab point that I want to make is H3H3 asked for one thing from Ian Idubbbz, and that is, hey, can you please tell everybody that my kids are not genuinely eating dog shit from the floor? That's it. That's all I want. At least, just at very least, say that Child Protective Services was not necessary at my house. And you know what Ian did? He sat in this cuck chair at the very far back, jerking off to Hassan streams. He was too busy jerking it off, just beating his schmeat so aggressively hard to Hassan streams and to his wife getting absolutely plowed in the next room.
Come on, dude. You're one step away from calling me a cuck. Just take the plunge.
That he wasn't even able to say any little thing about the whole entire H3H3 situation. And then you wonder exactly why H3H3 is so upset, why he didn't want to call Idubbbz, why he didn't want to do this, why he didn't want to do that. I would understand, in a position like that, why you wouldn't want to fucking call a guy who just said, I'm gonna sit in a cuck stool instead of actually helping you out with anything.
Our silence means something. It means that we would like to pause this relationship until you figure your shit out.
It was fucking stupid, and he apparently wanted to stay out of the situation, when at the same time, do you know what H3H3 did when the whole entire cuck thing came from Idubbbz? Do you know what he did? He put him on a fucking live stream where they were able to explain themselves. Not only that, H3H3 himself has defended Idubbbz in that same fucking live stream podcast. So he was able to defend you from the whole entire fucking internet calling you a massive fucking cuck, a massive fucking idiot, and all this kind of shit. But you're not able to say, oh yeah, his kids aren't eating dog shit from the fucking floor. It's the easiest layup of all fucking time. Whether you believe it 100%, whether you whatever the fuck, at very least, that's all you fucking needed to do. That's all you needed to say. It's as simple as that.
Fuck you.
And then, of course, the whole entire CPS thing itself. Now, if you don't know the whole entire lore, there's a YouTuber called Bad Empanada, and holy fucking shit, he's schizophrenia incarnated. This guy is talking to all the voices in his head.
Here's Bad Empanada once again, who posted a story saying, I'm the one who called CPS on Ethan Klein.
He, played a video game where he tried to kill Hila, H3H3's wife, who was in the IDF.
And he went to a military compound in that game and said he was, quote, looking for secretaries to kill. He was looking for Hila, who was a secretary in the IDF, to murder her in a game.
Where do they keep the secretaries? In here? I'm hunting for secretaries right now. Secretary dot.
I'm never gonna watch a Bad Empanada video on the stream. I'm just letting you guys know. If you think I'm gonna fucking watch a YouTube essay from a dude literally openly antagonistic towards me watching fucking YouTube videos, you're out of your fucking mind, okay? You think I want him to write like 700 hours worth of new YouTube essays about how I have wronged him? I don't want that. I don't want that at all.
Because this is all a political thing now, because Idubbbz is, again, the acolyte into politics. He's been blowing Hassan dick, trying to get all the fucking information and knowledge from his semen, and it just seems to be, not working out so well regardless. He started to get brain dead, come drunk from all that bullshit. But either way, so Bad Empanada does this into his streams. As well, Bad Empanada made the whole entire accusation that H3H3's house is covered in shit and that his children are eating the shit and crawling around in shit, and the only thing that he's doing, all his kids are just absolutely just crawling around in shit 24/7. Now, he's made all these accusations. Does he have anything to back it up? No. I mean, other than some H3H3 podcast clips where he talks about his dog having some bad diseases and all this kind of stuff that, he shit all over the floor, and there's a couple things like that. But again, it's a fucking toddler. He's gonna be rolling around. I have a little fucking brother. He gets sick 24/7. He goes to fucking kindergarten. He goes and he licks a rock for some weird reason, and then after he's throwing up and vomiting for the next 3 days. That's what kids do. They put everything in their fucking mouths, and then you wonder why, shit doesn't work out well for them, why they get sick. And Bad Empanada has said, okay, then we need to get Child Protective Services involved. And then of course he had Deadums come by and everybody else, which we'll talk about probably in a separate video, Hassan and all of his friends. But everybody was just saying Child Protective Services must be called on H3H3. And then what ends up happening? Child Protective Services were called, and then on top of that, a bunch of other shit happened where there's 2 human skulls that were sent directly to H3H3's house, probably representing both of his kids. And then you wonder why he's so frustrated and why he wanted Idubbbz, Ian, who had some sort of fucking, hand in saying, I've been to H3H3's house, at very least for a fucking podcast. I can tell you this, and I can tell you that, and I can clarify these situations, which Idubbbz just refuses to fucking do.
She could say so much, and it would make her a little bit uncomfortable, right? It's not comfortable. She'll get a little bit of shit.
Yeah, just for
but
saying
that would be commendable.
And by the way, it kind of speaks for itself that saying, hey, their house is claimed, they're actually good people, that's going to get you shit. That kind of says it all, doesn't it?
There isn't a single person that I respect who would give a fuck if I publicly said that Ethan and Hila are great with their kids, Ethan and Hila didn't kill their dog, and Ethan and Hila wipe their asses or don't have giardia or whatever the prompt is.
So what do you expect? Why do you think H3H3 is so upset with you? Why so mad at you? Why he's telling you to go fuck yourself?
Go fuck yourself?
Yeah, you wonder why. And on top of that, this all seems like an even bigger backstab when you include the fact that Creator Clash, Idubbbz's next boxing event, he's done 2 before, his last one failed royally, but he's doing another Creator Clash event, and this very first Content Cop video seemed like a massive fucking advertisement for that. Because he doesn't advertise on his own time, he hates advertising his own events apparently, and then here he is with a new event coming up soon on Jake Paul's same fight date, and then after you wonder why, again, why did he make this video? Why is it coming out now? It just seems to be like a massive representation. He would never make a content cop before.
It's crazy that I've just returned a content cop.
He made a bunch of documentaries before. Why does he go back to content cop? It just seems like now, because of the amount of prestige that content cop used to have, it would be the perfect time to drop one because of this Creator Clash event. Is that exactly what he was thinking? No, but it all together seems like the most scummy, most biggest piece of shit thing to fucking do. And he's just sitting there and he's just beating his schmeat to Hassan still, doing fucking nothing else. And this all did also seem to be a Hassan-based video where he basically got the whispers, he's got the demon in his ear saying, hey,
Make a content cop on H3H3, yeah. Make one. Just help me out, come on. Make a content cop on H3H3.
And that's exactly what he did. And speaking of that, we need to go talk about his new group of friends.
Bacon burger.
Do you want to know the juiciest bit of hypocrisy?
Do you want to know what Idubbbz has done in this video? Well, let me make it very clear and very obvious. Everybody saw the most cringy intro to any video in mankind, where you got every single one of these amazing political streamers with their big gigantic amount of brain cells, the hyper geniuses of the internet, for an introduction of a video. And they're all Idubbbz's new friends, and it's amazing. Screw Max Mofo, screw Chad, we got the new Idubbbz friends in this house, boys! And the highest tier of content creation, featuring Hassan Piker.
Hassan to Hassan. 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 Hassan.
Who said amazing things like, America deserved 9/11.
America deserved 9/11, dude. Fuck it. I'm saying it.
He also says, support terrorism.
And he is a known terrorist. And Hassan interviewed him, and it went really swimmingly.
Okay, this is a stupid question. Okay, you can preface it with that. Does he know what One Piece is?
Luffy.
Luffy?
Yeah, he said he's been watching it since he was a kid.
No way!
Yeah.
That's sick. Yes. That's fire. That's so fire. Oh my god.
For the unaware, Yemeni Timothy Chalamet here is a part of a known terrorist group called the Houthis. And just so you guys know, the official slogan of the Houthis is death to America, death to Israel, and curse upon the Jews.
And he also says a bunch of other amazing things, which we'll probably show here.
I talked to a teenager from Yemen, okay, who everyone called, myself included, called Timothy Charlemagne, or Chalamet.
Is that the One Piece one?
Yeah, exactly. Now this kid is like, I think he was like 19 at the time when I talked to him. Which means that for most of his life, he has withstood genocide, right?
Sure.
Like he is a person whose only experience is like, it's literally like talking to fucking Anne Frank, basically, okay? Being able to talk to Anne Frank.
Hassan Piker, notorious terrorist sympathizers, just compared Anne Frank to the Houthis, who are ruining my home.
Do you think he's like Anne Frank?
Absolutely! Your beloved Houthis killed my mom's best friend. Anne Frank never killed anyone. The Nazis killed her. Your beloved Houthis took over my country by force, not through democracy. Anne Frank never took over anything. She was hiding in an attic. Your beloved Houthis have been starving my people for more than 10 years. Anne Frank was starved by Nazis, like the ones that you support. Your beloved Houthis have imprisoned journalists and killed
What do you mean a music video? When you said music video, I'm expecting like, bad example, Chris Brown dancing, you know?
No. They do like,
they
do musicals. They're very musical people.
Now, of course, Hassan is the one and only here that everyone's focusing on this video, but let's go talk about Denims.
You'll notice that Ethan and Hila start talking about this Denims character.
With her amazing clip that just came out recently surrounding H3H3.
Create any bad memory for them. You're not forming memories at 3 years old, and it's very rare that you're forming memories at 5 years old. There's a wide variation across methods, cohorts. The average age of adults' earliest memories is 3.5 years old. You're not really forming memories at 3.
Or, of course, you have Frogan, who had this to say in this video.
I have no pity at all for any fucking soldiers. I will never have any fucking pity for any fucking soldiers. U.S. military? Boo fucking who? I hope you get PTSD.
And then you have the other guy. I don't know who the fuck he is, and I'm pretty sure 80% of the internet doesn't no clue who the fuck he was. He was just kind of in this video.
Game and Destiny.
Like, it would just be so easy. It would solve all of our problems. Like, we would have socialism now at this point. Right? We would have socialism at this point if someone just went out of their way and...
Game and Destiny.
This is what happens when you don't kill every single slave owner after slavery. They have children, and their children have children, and their children have children, and their children have accidents that should have ended up on a sock, and it becomes destiny.
This was just a big, massive plug for every single political streamer around Hassan, but either way, he's in that video too. But everybody in this video, funnily enough, is just ruining every single one of Idubbbz's points. And it's absolutely not amazing to see, but it's disturbing to see how little self-awareness he has when it comes down to every other fucking human being in his fucking life. Jesus fucking Christ. I mean, let's just talk about Hassan Piker himself is quite literally every single little tiny thing, every single little criticism he gave H3H3 was the same thing that Hassan Piker is doing. He's quite literally all of the criticism. Tell me why this makes sense. Tell me why. Why does this make sense to anybody? Why put him in the start of a video that is about H3H3 where he's 80%, he's literally 80% of what Idubbbz has criticized H3H3 for can be criticized on Hassan Piker as well. I mean, holy fucking shit. Oh my fucking god. Oh my, Jesus Christ. Again, hyper genius, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody knows him because he's, you know, hyper intelligent, very smart human being. It's amazing to see. I mean, Idubbbz also, throughout this video, continuously blows Hassan Piker. He's going the full gonk. He's... We're talking the whole entire dig down the throat here, and it's just every single time he mentions Hassan, you can see the love in his eyes and the semen in his throat whenever he opens his fucking mouth.
Now, I don't want to talk about Hassan's sword. I picked up Hassan's sword and it's really hard.
Okay, Idubbbz, I hear you.
Just Jesus fucking Christ, you can also see the bruising back there, but it doesn't even fucking matter. And I mean, Frogan and Denims continue to reinforce all the criticism that Ian Idubbbz has made in this video. I mean, let's just talk about Hassan Piker himself. Let's talk about 80% of the points that Ian Idubbbz has made in this video, and then we're going to point it to Hassan. We're going to show the different clips. We're going to show the dichotomy of man here. Now, of course, the very first thing is Hassan refused to accept criticism.
Hassan, I know you're terrified of taking accountability for anything, so...
Yeah, Crash Out, it's Asmongold's fault I got detained. What is this? So is Hassan blaming me that he got detained at the airport? Yeah, guys, I made the call.
And I was shocked. We're unironically brought up in that conversation. The Houthi. Like, did you...
That's right. Yes, that's right. Saying that you support a designated terrorist organization got you extra questioning whenever you were re-entering the country.
Oh, you want to see a Houthi musical?
Sure. I know they're singing, but I'm seeing just guns and shit. This isn't a music video, Hassan.
We think the Houthis, Ansar Allah, is doing what Luffy would do.
I have no problem with the Houthis. Yeah, because I don't. What do you mean?
Yeah, okay, there it is.
If you think I'm a terrorism supporter for that reason, then yeah, I'm a fucking terrorism supporter. What are you talking?
Okay, well, there it is.
Fucking gotten me arrested is insane. And I genuinely, in that moment, was thinking, like, these dumbass slop tubers are actually playing with fire. The reality of the matter is 100% the Trump administration is working with a lot of these fucking dipshits.
Why does it have to be anyone else's fault but your own? Take some fucking responsibility.
I mean, I don't know about you guys, but the best way to take accountability is blaming fucking everyone else but yourself. He also continues to support terror groups that hate Jews. I mean, that's a separate point. I just wanted to add that in as a little sugar on the cake here to say that there's an extra criticism that could be made towards Hassan in this whole entire thing. But regardless, we're going to leave that out. We're going to talk about something else he leaves out, which is important context.
When Russia invaded Ukraine, he constantly justified it by saying Ukraine and its army was full of Nazis. This is the same propaganda Russia pushes. Hassan acted like every citizen in Ukraine was on the verge of fascism.
The reason why a small amount of nationalist forces gaining prominence is additionally terrifying. It's like Tinder, okay? It can cause a wildfire of nationalism because it's already baked in to the attitudes of the commoner, okay? Every person already has like a predisposition towards nationalist tendencies.
And you just continue to talk about the conflict like they don't exist. It would be nicer, a lot nicer, for you to shut the fuck up about it.
Also, he acts out of emotion instead of reason.
Let me explain to you two principles that you should keep with you, coming from a person who's Turkish, okay? When you look at a situation in the Middle East, you look at what the local government is and who the Western forces are. Never align with the Western forces. That's a principle that you could take home with you. If you want to actually be moral or if you want to be smart about the way you analyze other countries, that's one basic principle that you can take home with you. All of a sudden, magically, you are above on your foreign policy analysis. You're going to be better off than 90% of people that look at the situation.
Poor people that they can afford housing in Berkeley. I don't know how that works.
Well, my understanding is that the property owners who have properties there choose just not to rent it at all.
Yeah, kill
As a
them.
result.
Kill those motherfuckers in a video game. Sorry. Holy shit. Murder those motherfuckers in the street. Let the streets soak in their fucking red capitalist bloods, dude. Oh my god, in a video game, of course. Holy shit. Holy fucking shit, dude.
We'll treat you as adults. Maybe we shouldn't have been treating you as adults.
And now explain what he means by that. We did not leave Iraq because we were Zionists. We left because we were no longer safe.
Iraqis are not Palestinian, you fucking moron! You racist piece of shit!
What?
Because Iraq and the pan-Arabic nationalist movements that arise out of
You are
Zionist
out of your
violence
mind.
is not about Palestinians.
Okay, so
You
what did
cannot
the
make
Jews
this
in Iraq
comparison.
have to do with fucking
Zionists
Israel,
are the
you
ones
bigot?
who actually fucking
You are
terrorize the
so out of your
Palestinians.
mind.
And then Iraqis,
Dude, you screaming and
cannot point
grandstanding
the
doesn't mean you're
Iraqis
right.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Watch out! Are you okay?
No, you shot me! Oh god! Are you okay? Echo 71081.
No. But you not thinking about what you're saying, not, reflecting on your behavior, not changing your behavior, that's not goblin mode. That's being a child.
I mean, as you can see in these clips, he's clearly a very mature person, able to, maturely adjust to the situation at hand, and definitely does not make certain types of threats against people that he disagrees with like a 2-year-old child. And he uses his audience to fight battles.
Now, I respect these three individuals, but I think they massively miscalculated how people would receive Hassan as a guest on their anime-focused podcast in the year 2025. As you can see, the like-dislike ratio on this is pretty much 50-50. 16,000 likes versus 15,000 dislikes.
Too bad. I get irritated from just seeing his face. The guy has said so many profoundly idiotic things that I honestly cannot listen to a word from him. The brigade is on, folks. Get in and actively counter the brigade.
And he also personally attacks people.
Yeah, where is that chatter? He was like, come to Israel. It's so beautiful here. I should go to the old city so I can get my fucking shit pushed in by some of the most inbred fundamentalist hick.
There's about $50 billion estimated that are lost every year in Medicaid, just in fraud alone. No.
If you cared about Medicare fraud or Medicaid fraud, you would kill Rick Scott.
This is a senator that he's, by the way, saying to kill.
Okay? You wouldn't make Rick Scott former.
Of course, his chat's all cool with it. I'm okay with that.
You can't expect other people to stop harassing you if you continue to harass people.
And there's a bunch more criticism that could be made against Hassan Piker, but this is quite literally everything that Ian Idubbbz has said about H3H3. The amount of genius is crazy. Somebody get Albert Einstein from the grave. Tell him that we have a brand new genius here. He can solve E equals MC fucking squared. Jesus fucking Christ. And that's the juiciest bit of Hypocrisy, ladies and gentlemen. Right here. All of his new friends. We're not even talking about the bad shit they said. I mean, we already talked about that in the last part of the video. Just his new friends. Already in the start of this video, makes this whole entire thing null and void. Because he said the exact same things against quite literally anybody else.
Was very empathetic, and I essentially empathize with him. And he is in a situation that's making him extremely scared, paranoid, defensive, sensitive, and I'm sure other...
Now, ladies and gentlemen, the king of empathy is back with his so amazingly empathetic, obviously empathetic video for H3H3. He thought about his feelings the whole entire time, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. He thought about his feelings the whole entire time. H3H3's feelings have never been considered more until now.
What's very insane about this content cop is I was thinking about Ethan's feelings so much in that video.
Hila has never ever considered H3H3's feelings as much as Ian Idubbbz has. You know, it's been a very empathetic video, and I loved watching it. I loved when he showed empathy, when he got all of H3H3's biggest haters and put them in that video. You know, it's a lot of empathy, putting them all in there and making a whole entire skit where they made all of his greatest enemies, you know, haunt him in a video, telling him to wake up from his nightmare. You know, it's amazing. You have to respect the amount of empathy that he put forward there. or, you know, empathy of telling somebody that he needs to get beat.
What are we saying? He needs a hug? No, he doesn't need a hug. He needs a good fucking ass whooping is what he needs.
He needs to get beat royally. That's a lot of empathy he shows there when he says he needs to get beaten a little bit. You know, it's lots of empathy being shown. More empathy is understanding that somebody will crash out when Child Protective Services is called.
You're triggered by this CPS harassment thing.
King of empathy. You're not just getting anything. You're getting triggered when CPS is called, and it's understandable. You know, he doesn't understand that you're gonna get triggered when CPS is called, and that's just empathy right there. He shows massive amounts of empathy that we should all try to represent. And empathy is realizing that H3H3 is getting backlash for only slight disagreements with political streamers, with Hassan Piker, and you know, lots of empathy being shown there.
Fuck you. Fuck you. You're a piece of shit because I don't give a fuck. The CPS call.
And it wasn't a huge disagreement. He doesn't say he supports Israel 24/7 or anything else like that. He just says he wants the war to stop. He doesn't like what's happening on both sides. As simple as that. But of course, Idubbbz, the king of empathy, realizes that people dying in the Middle East is probably, a fucking amazing thing. I don't know. I don't know where he gets this amount of empathy from. Everybody, we need to just give him, again, a round of applause here. A round of applause for the amount of empathy he shows.
It sounds really pathetic to say at the age of 32, I've acquired empathy.
There was no empathy in this video. There was fucking none. You would get more fucking empathy from a second grade classroom than you would from this whole entire Idubbbz video. Hell, like, at this fucking point, seeing two kids beat each other up over a fucking toy in the play yard has way more empathy than whatever the fuck Idubbbz showed here. Again, the king of empathy has finally been back. He is arose, and he's clearly risen from the ashes like a fucking phoenix to suck Hassan Piker's dick and just to watch, you know, his wife just get absolutely railed in the corner there. You have to respect it. You have to respect the amount of empathy Idubbbz has shown in this whole entire video, and it's just absolutely insane. And that's, again, the juiciest bit of hypocrisy, and that's the whole entire video. At this point, I'm considering calling this video Hypocrisy Incarnate. It is literally, all of this is the biggest amount of hypocrisy I've ever seen. He is unempathetic to any little part of things that H3H3 has been included in, and even the times where he tried to show empathy have been the most backhanded fucking piece of shit way to deal with it. Let's just look at the end of the Content Cop video, where he gets all these streamers to say one nice thing about somebody.
I have challenged some of his most powerful haters to put down the haterade and just say something nice and charitable about him because I think he deserves it.
I just wanted to say that I respect that you are genuinely yourself on the internet. I think a lot of other people respect you for it as well. I think that's a big reason why people were drawn to your content in the first place. I think that's a lot of the reason why your employees chose to work with you over anyone else.
Ethan, I think it's respectable that you even began this journey to leave behind the anti-SJW crowd and step into a more empathetic worldview. I know it's not easy.
Ethan Klein, I think that when you are being goofy, when you're being silly, when you are being lighthearted, and just having fun with your friends, I think that is when you're at your best. So I'd love to see more of that. That'd be sick.
I will be reading my letter off because I don't want to sound robotic. H3 used to be the sports figure that I used to watch. I hope that one day gets back to what I remember. You are one of the inspirations for me to start creating content, so all this has stunk. I hope you really hear this, and I wish you the best.
I think Ethan Klein rocks a buzz cut pretty good, and I think he's got a good choice of facial hair. I think it's really cool what he did 8 years ago, fighting that frivolous lawsuit. That was pretty fucked up, and fighting it, he changed YouTube for the better. And I thought that was cool because I thought it was like he was fighting for free speech.
Now, I don't know about you guys, but that's a lot of empathy. Everybody in that video clearly meant what they said. And you know what? Frogan, we'll take it out on the chin. She actually meant what she said in that video. Apparently, she hasn't backed down from that. Respect to her, other than for every other fucking thing that she said. She's been a piece of shit this whole entire time. But here, she gets one little tiny bit of a little ounce of respect from me. But it's so backhanded to make a whole entire video talking shit about somebody and then immediately say, oh, guys, say one nice thing. You have a nice haircut. A nice fucking haircut? Noah Samson is the same guy who put him in the thumbnail and said these guys support genocide. Yes, your nice haircut is the fucking best thing to talk about. There's no apologies here. It's just, oh, you have a nice haircut. Not even fucking including any of the other shit there. Yes, really. The king of fucking empathy right here. And he cries at the very end of the fucking video to a fucking therapist. Again, this is just all relating back to this whole entire video being a therapy session for Idubbbz, where he returns to a fucking forbidden art in his mind, where he makes a shit fucking video and he just tries to return back to his roots, and it was all terrible. Even the content deputy, from start to fucking finish, it has been absolutely a terrible video and a terrible representation for basically every other fucking thing that's been mentioned. There is nothing good in this video except for a couple of good facts. And let's be honest here, before this video started, H3H3 was in hot water, in deep water. Nobody really fucking liked him. Everybody was criticizing him for the longest fucking point in time. And then Up Idubbbz made this fucking video, and do you know what he brought attention to? The fact that Child Protective Services was called on his house. The fact that he got 2 skulls in the fucking mail. The fact that he's being harassed by a bunch of fucking other political streamers for shit that doesn't even fucking matter. To little types of politics. He agrees with 95% of what people are saying in the political space, but since he doesn't agree with the 5%, he's getting harassed for it. And nobody liked H3H3 before this. Now he's brought attention to it, and you know what? All that's gonna blow up in the face of every single person that was in this video. So, you know, say what you will about that.
1 hour later.
What's poppin', gamers? I'm back again, a day later, after starting to edit this video, and I kind of recognize that there's a couple things that I kind of wanted to discuss, at least smaller points that I haven't really done in the complete and utter overview here before I go and make an outro to this video. And the very first thing is, Idubbbz vehemently disagrees with these CPS calls, or that he had anything to do with it, or any of his friends had anything to do with it, when of course, we just showed the clip of Denims trying to approve it and trying to say, oh, but their memories are gone, it doesn't really matter if child support is really called on them, and continuously supporting that, and Bad and Banana, which is also Hassan Piker who supports Bad and Banana, ever since Bad and Banana made a video on H3H3 trying to shit on him as well, right? A bunch of these creators have all kind of gotten together and banded together to say that CPS would deserve to be called an Ethan Klein. And of course, we're going to talk a little bit more about that here in a second, but of course, that's just the very first thing. Did he cause the CPS calls himself? No, but he's kind of supporting the same people that from the very beginning have kind of said, you know what, this is a great idea. I'm so happy that this is the case. You know, it's very stupid. It was a very stupid argument to kind of make in the video, both before and after in the content deputy. And here he is trying to discuss it and trying to make it seem like it's the one big thing again. Now, the next point I want to discuss is the whole entire
Ethan is attacking everybody on the internet. H3H3 as a whole is just attacking everybody on the internet and blah, 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 blah.
And the truth is, he does attack people on the internet, sure, but again, before he started attacking your friends, including Hassan and Denims, let's be honest, it's like the truest part of the comment was that he was attacking those people in particular. They only started to attack the rest of the whole entire political space after the whole entire Israel-Palestine conflict, and ever since the H3H3's falling out with Hassan, which is funnily enough the reason you said you had not so many nice things to say after that whole entire falling out. It's almost convenient timing that after the falling out with Hassan that H3H3 had, that you don't like him that much. It's very weird and very, you know, inconvenient.
Since Ethan and Hassan's falling out, I've been keeping to myself mostly. I don't have many nice things to say.
But it's every single one of these people, all these political streamers, every single person that you brought on, Frogan, Denims, all these people that you brought on, have all only hated Ethan H3H3 after the whole entire conflict happened. It's really weird. You can't just say that, you know, H3H3 started all this shit, when in reality, he only had, again, a small little bit of a different political opinion before everything just kind of fell off and everybody just started hating on him and hating him as a complete total. And that's just stupid, and it was a very stupid point to put in the video. Here's another small point I wanted to discuss, is the whole entire he laid the groundwork for reviewing fucking streams and watching other people's videos and giving your unfiltered reactions.
You have laid the groundwork for this type of streaming, which is watching people's shit and giving your unfiltered reaction to it.
Especially while Hassan's in the room. You sure you want to say that while Hassan's in the room? Or let me correct that, while he's not in the room? The average Hassan stream kind of just, you know, looks fucking weird. Do you want to know what the average Hassan stream looks like? How about I show you? So, I mean, you know what? I may take back my point because, let's be honest, Hassan barely reacts to 80% of the shit that he watches on stream or that he puts on stream, so we can leave that one for the past, but, you know, it's still the point I wanted to bring up. Now, of course, after the content comp came the content deputy, when he just finally released the fact that he did end up having a creator clash event, and after that whole entire thing, and after the whole shabackle of the main fucking video going up, of course, the content deputy comes around and he says, oh yeah, we're handing all over our fucking rights basically to this whole entire event to a different organizer. Which, I mean, you know, you failed the last event and you're getting a bunch of criticism and heat for this new event coming out that's already looking like it's gonna fail. And, you know, I understand the whole entire pull away and the push away. You would not want to stay on that Titanic because you're a little fucking bitch. Instead of staying down with the event and realizing it's gonna fucking fail and trying to set it up and then trying to set people up to kind of advertise that event and having that whole entire thing fuck up and blow up in your face again. I mean, Hassan would know everything about blowing up in your face again. I mean, it's a fucking crazy thing, right? It was definitely definitely warranted that they left the event, and I understand why they did it, but they act like the fighters in this whole entire event understood the whole entire thing too. Like, they understood, like, it made sense to them why this whole entire thing works out at the end. But of course, then you have Harley Mornstein, who dropped out of the event, and of course H3H3's other employee that left the fucking event too. And there's a bunch of different fighters that are leaving the event, and Idubbbz is scrambling, and he's going to try to find a bunch of different other people. He tried to go for Tectone, he tried to go for Ice Poseidon. All of these shitty people that they don't like, apparently, right, they're trying to get into the event again, which is stupid. It was a dumb fucking thing to do. We all know the fight we want to see. I want to see you try to fight Sam Hyde or get Hassan Piker to fight Sam Hyde. That will fucking make the event go crazy, but of course he doesn't show that. But either way, just talking about the situation, the big criticism I have is that Ian Idubbbz acts like he gives a fucking shit about the fighters, but in the end he just basically turns his back on them, and then acts like, you know, there's nothing going wrong, where he's like that fucking dog picture where everything is fine while everything is burning on around him. All of his fighters are leaving the event. There's nobody who wants to go see the event now, especially since he related it to a goddamn conflict that has so much fucking politically charged people behind it that are fucking going crazy over every small thing you say about it. There's no reason why you would want to try to support an event like that unless you're awfully political and on this one side of politics that they agree with. That they, meaning Hassan Piker, Denims, Frogan, Idubbbz now, Idubbbz's wife, and all this kind of stuff. Now, the other thing is H3H3 apparently making himself a victim, you know, being, you know, victimizing himself and saying, well, I'm a victim of everything, but at the same time, again, CPS being called on him, everybody harassing him through it, the 2 skulls sent to his fucking doorstep. That was just a stupid point. And then after this, you know, fucking Hassan Piker has to go to his one moderator and try to, you know, give her a couple head pats and say, there, I'm sorry you're a victim through all this whole entire thing, because she got backlash for being in a video that was criticizing H3H3 and his fucking child support bullshit that was going on and the rest of his fucking thing, all without most of the context that was necessary to fully understand the situation for most people who had no clue who H3H3 was. So in the end, you had this whole entire fucking collection of shit where it was just fucking stupid to bring that point up, and it made the whole entire fucking video, you know, seem like shit, because he didn't even mention the reasons why he considered himself a victim in this situation, and I think he is a victim of a lot of online harassment, and then you act like it doesn't exist or like it should happen. But even then, all the online harassment for other people is mostly just people talking shit about you and people hating on you. But for H3H3, especially at the moment, he's getting human skulls sent to his fucking doorstep, and he's getting CPS called on him, which are 2 big things that affect his fucking family, and of course his physical and mental health at this fucking point. You never fucking know what's gonna happen. And I don't mean to blow H3H3 at all right here, but at the same time, the amount of criticism that was put towards him in this whole entire video, and all the shit that came afterwards, and all the shit he went through before all this shit, just makes everything just fucking, you know, suck to try to defend Idubbbz. You know, it's hard to try to defend him after all this shit. It's hard to defend any of his fucking, you know, friends that he has there. So, of course, you never fucking know what's gonna happen here. But the victimization fucking point was absolutely stupid in this video as well. Now, the last point is anti-Semitism. I do it. This was the one point where I was gonna give it to Idubbbz. I was gonna give it to Idubbbz here, where you know, H3H3 immediately fell on the excuse of, you know, being a Jew and all this kind of stuff, and you know, trying to fall back on that itself. And then I was thinking last night, and I was thinking when I was editing this video, like, wait a second, I remember something from a while back that it just doesn't make any sense. Why would H3H3 think that Idubbbz is possibly anti-Semitic? I mean, yeah, sure, the whole entire swastika sword, or whatever the fuck it's called, the swastika sword, you know, this, what is it called, the swastikana? That's what they called it? Yeah, sure, whatever. He even, H3H3 admits that that's not even makes any sense. I mean, Idubbbz and his content deputy said that didn't make any sense, and that, of course, H3H3 understands this. But the one thing, there was just a clip that was going on in my head that I remember from a while back, and it was this one with Anissa.
Is experimenting on 10 children to obtain a cure for thousands of kids' lives justified? That's a really hard question, and I think if people are being 100% honest, they'd give you a different answer than what you're expecting. As terrible as the Holocaust was, obviously it was horrendous, and how disgusting the doctor was that did the experiments on people, gay people, handicaps, twins. I think that's... and obviously, they were obviously Jewish, or they did it on Jewish people. They found a couple of really groundbreaking discoveries through that experimentation.
And then you have to think, after seeing something like that, maybe there's a little bit of anti-Semitism involved. And especially with all of a sudden, Anissa Joma and everybody else, like all the Hassan Piker fans and everybody else coming around and saying the same kind of shit, you have to wonder why he falls back in anti-Semitism as kind of an excuse, or why he thinks Idubbbz is doing it. Do I think this is the genuine reason? No, but I think it's just a funny fucking clip to make it understood. And on top of that, speaking of Anissa Joma, fucking Ian Idubbbz says this about his wife in the video.
Anissa is half Lebanese and half Irish. For anyone unfamiliar, the Irish have been on the receiving end of a lot of oppression and genocide. On the part of the Lebanese, they've received a lot of oppression and attacks from the IDF. So Anissa is very well familiar with the propaganda and the shit coming out of Israel. Choosing now, out of all the times, to be like, please defend me. No, we're not gonna fucking defend you.
And it's fucking stupid. Jesus fucking Christ. She's whiter than fucking snow. Are you telling me that in 2025 people are being harassed because they're fucking Irish? I'm pretty sure she sounds fucking American, so you can't even say it's based on any fucking accent. You can't even make fun of a fucking Irish accent. And Lebanese, are you fucking kidding me? You can not fucking tell for shit. Do you know what I am? I'm like 0.1% Native American. That's like me saying I have to suffer through a lot of shit in my life because I am 0.1% Native American. I don't know if you can see it, maybe it's in my hair and my facial features, but as you can tell on a day-to-day basis, I keep getting harassed because of my Native American nature, which is fucking stupid. It's a stupid assessment, and it's just like the most bullshit I'm 14 and this is deep type of comment to ever fucking make. It was stupid and it made no sense. And of course, the last one, the one and only comment that I really enjoyed, the most petty thing I've ever seen on fucking YouTube history, has to be the whole entire likes and dislikes thing. If you haven't seen what he said there, he said that you guys need to go touch some grass and leave a like on the fucking video, as you can see.
Also, for all the people who touch grass, I want to remind you to click the like button on this video, because I know that a lot of these fuckers, they love their dislike button extensions. And I saw that shit and I was like, what the fuck? These are all like fabricated numbers. You're not gonna convince the internet that fucking Ethan Klein isn't being a piece of shit.
Funnily enough, Idubbbz himself will convince the internet that Ethan was not a piece of shit. Now, I mean, honestly, he does make a good point, but not for his fucking video, but for mine. If you guys like this video, then, of course, do me a fucking favor. Drop a like down below, and if, of course, you have any more things that you think I missed, or lots of context that you think I missed out of this whole entire thing, I'm willing and more than open to listening to it and possibly even commenting back down in the comments below. So, of course, like and subscribe. Put all that shit down there. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. I think that's going to be it for this video, ladies and gentlemen. I'll see y'all next time. This is me, the Holy Commentator, signing off for now.
It's crazy that I've just returned a content cop.